I'm back. It's part two. Look, y'all, I'm new to all of this live stuff, so I'm going to have to do some updates so it won't go off after an hour. I didn't realize I was talking that long. But continuing on from earlier, my video earlier, so we're going to call this It's Not God Part Two. And so I believe I was speaking of the experience of learning that you were adopted, all right, in your 50s or 60s, learning that the parents who told you all your life that you were theirs, that you come to find out that you were actually adopted. How will you feel? You're going to have a whole set of emotions: anger, frustration, bewilderment, disbelief. I mean, rage. I mean, everything. And so imagine people who are in Christianity, right? And we begin to share with them who they really are. People who've never heard the truth of who they are. And we begin to share with them, or their eyes begin to be awakened, or they see something on a YouTube or a video, or they have a dream, and Yah begins to show them the truth of who they are. They're going to be angry. They're going to have a flood of emotion. Well, why did they lie to me? Why did the preacher? Here's the thing: we got to show grace, because when you're being taught in a church, they're only giving you information that they were taught. These seminaries, these different pastors, if they're taught error, they're only going to teach error themselves. So we got to have grace. And I say all that because, again, we are taught, we are conditioned certain errors about the Most High Yah that are not true. And so, getting back to it's not God, He's not taking people, y'all. Things happen. All right. The little girl that I said, talked about in the earlier video, she had asthma. It's a condition. Asthma kills thousands of people every year. It's not God taking these people. It's unfortunate that we don't know how to properly treat this condition. When you have an autoimmune condition, when you have some kind of medical issue, there are certain things that you have to stop doing. But fortunately, the mainstream medical system here in America don't want to tell you about living healthier, don't want to talk to you about nutrition, because it's not based on nutrition. Our medical system is not based on health and wellness. It's not based on nutrition. It is based on surgery and taking pills. And Yah, when He created us, He knew what our bodies would need to stay in health, to stay well. But the medical system here is not concerned about keeping you well, it's concerned about keeping you as a lifetime patient. That's all. And so now we've got to learn. We've got to pray and ask Yah for wisdom on how to bring forth that healing. Yes, I believe in prayer, and we should, but don't stop at prayer. And that's another thing. Christianity, religion, pray and forget it. No, you must do your part. You mean to tell me that you see every time you eat a certain food, it makes you ill, that you just gonna keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it? At some point, you got to put two and two together to say, oh my goodness, every time I eat this bacon, my blood pressure goes up, I get a headache. You've got to do your part. How you gonna sit there and eat something Yah called unclean, first of all, and you got it on your plate, and you close your eyes and pray for it to be blessed? I mean, come on, really? For real? Y'all, that's like you getting in the bed with somebody that's not your wife or your husband, and you saying, bless it, y'all. Come on, people, wake up. Come on, y'all. It's common sense stuff. But that's the thing about religion. It don't want you to use common sense. It wants you to follow what they do and what they tell you. And so that's why you got preachers walking in error, living sinful lives in homosexuality, and people sitting there clapping for them, people giving them standing ovations. The pews are filled with this because people are not studying for themselves. They not in relationship with Yah. They're not led by his spirit. And so you got these people following after those who say they are mouthpieces for Yah, that are in sin, that are in lifestyle unpleasing to him. And so come on, people, we've got to do better. We've got to study. We've got to learn for ourselves. So again, it's not Yah doing it. It's situations. I was sharing with the sister earlier today because I would love to go to the motherland, right? But they require vaccines. And unfortunately, my body has a reaction to all kinds of stuff. I'm allergic to all kinds of stuff. So the doctors call it an autoimmune issue. Well, I know I got some things going on that I got to get fixed. One of those things that I believe is causing my autoimmune issue, where I'm just allergic to just about everything. I have two root canals. And at the time, I trusted the dentist. I trusted them that they knew because they're in the profession. Now I'm learning that root canals can cause all kinds of problems, from arthritis to allergies to aching bodies to inflammation to heart issues to cancer, all kinds of stuff. And I've had these root canals over 12 to 13 years or maybe longer, and they are wreaking havoc on my body. And so now I'm in the process. Yes, I was praying for healing, right? But I can't continue to pray and have something in my body that's causing the direct issue. Y'all, we have to do something. You got to do your part. You don't just say some prayers, I'm a lama, 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 ding dong, and I'm done. It don't work like that, y'all. But religion has taught us these things. We must do our part. Remember, Paul said, faith without what is dead? You got to do something. That's what works me, doing something. And so I'm praying, Father, give me the answer. What's wrong with me? What's going on? Little by little, I begin to see in my feed root canals and the causes and the problems that they can have on your body. And I'm like, I got to get these things out. So now, again, insurance ain't going to pay for this. They don't want to pay for stuff that's going to make you well. They'll pay for stuff that'll hurt you and send you to the hospital, but to get well, it ain't covering it. So now I'm asking for wisdom. I'm online searching out. They call biological holistic dentists. And so I'm on there now. And you got to pay cash because insurance ain't going to cover this. So the first thing I'm going to do, make that appointment. They're going to take x-rays and they're going to be able to see if I have an infection. And 9 times out of 10, I do. And I'm just grateful that it hasn't caused worse situation for me. Because when you have an infection in your body and you're not doing what you need to do to calm that infection, it can wreak havoc on your body. And so here I trusted a dentist. And even to this day, 2026, you got them same dentists say, oh no, there's no proof that root canal causes Isn't that sad? Because again, they've been conditioned, just like religion conditions you not to think and accept everything hook, line, and sinker. The medical community conditions them not to think for themselves. The medical community teaches them to follow what they've been taught. Because after all, who would want to admit that they've paid thousands of dollars and they've done procedures that are actually hurting people? When they find out the truth, how you think they're going to feel? All this time and all these years, they've been doing stuff that has been hurting people. That's a heavy thing to admit. And so, same thing when it comes to religion, it's a heavy thing to admit that we've been taught wrong. We've been taught error. And so, I don't fault the people, because if you don't know, you just don't know. But here's the thing. Once you find out, then you continue to walk in that truth and you don't go back. Now, unfortunately, there's some people who they won't ever wake up to the truth, because they may go into some kind of mental breakdown if they, after all these years, 30, 40, 50 years, believing that what they were told was the truth, and to now realize it was error. Some people will lose their mind. Some people will. And so in that case, you just continue to pray, let Yah handle it, and let him do what he needs to do to open their eyes. And so This video is not going to be long, just a follow up because the last one broke up. But I just want to encourage you when you hear things from people that God did this, that a baby died in utero in its mama's womb, that wasn't God knowing what's best. Come on, y'all, stop it. There was something going on in the bloodstream. There was something going on with the placenta. There was something going on in the mom that baby could not handle it. And we are exposed to toxins every day. I was listening to another video. I believe the man said by the time a baby is born, they have been exposed to over 200 toxins, y'all. Come on. Just breathing, just simple eating. When we eat stuff and we're not getting organic foods, and even now you got to be careful with organic because they're saying they're organic, but when they're still pesticide. So what you put in your mouth, it have an effect on your unborn baby, y'all. Just breathing. And people they just mindless. They have these babies on the inside and they just mindless, eating donuts, all this sweets, drinking coffee, loading it up with sugars. Now, and if you think that you are wired up and you all spastic from caffeine, what do you think it's doing to the baby, y'all? Come on. We got to start thinking and using our brains. We've got to get to the point where we truly love ourselves and we truly love what we're doing for our bodies and stop putting these harmful things in our body. We need to wake up. Yah's people should be some of the most informed people on the planet. But here's what I found when I was in these churches, and I can talk because that was me. Not one time did I ever have anything in one of these churches have any kind of programs or any kind of meetings or any kind of gatherings to tell women, girls especially, what they're going to go through as they get older. I understand the family should do that, but here's the thing. When you're in a church and when you're in an assembly, we should know, we should talk about all of this stuff because we're supposed to be a community. Don't just leave it up to the family. People should have been brought in. There should have been nurses, doctors, and different things to talk about what the boys would go through. Each step, we should talk about everything that life has to offer, especially when it comes to our bodies. We cannot wait for the world to do these things. We cannot go to the outside. All of this stuff should have been talked about inside the house, inside the assembly. Now, one time did I ever hear anybody talk about what a woman would go through as she got older, from 5 years old to 10 years old to 15 years old to 20. Never once did I hear anybody talk about perimenopause, menopause, postmenopause, and bring in doctors and different things to give us information on what our bodies would go through. They failed us, y'all. They failing us. But you're going to always hear, give to the Lord. Come on, the $50 line, the $100 line, the $1,000 line. You got a special blessing. Meanwhile, women, marriages are breaking up because they don't know what's going on with their bodies. Meanwhile, women are suffering because they don't know what's going on with their body, and the medical community ain't helping them. All they want to do is give them another pill or cut the organ out. People, we should have been learning about this. There should have been doctors, there should be nurses, there should be people who studied the body, who studied what Yah told us to put in our bodies. And now we do have people like that now, but a lot of them, they into all this other stuff, hugging trees and crystals and different things. And so, I'm learning some things and I listen to things outside of the scriptures, and that is for me. I take it, but that once they get into talking about all these crystals and sages and all, I'm like, I'm out. I got what I needed from you about the body. Now, thank you very much. And I keep it moving. But y'all, this stuff should have been part of us. We should have been hearing some of this stuff from over the pulpit. We should be hearing some of this stuff through midweek studies from our gatherings in each other's homes or coming together throughout the week. We should have been hearing stuff like this. When was the last time you ever heard something about menopause as a woman from your church? When was the last time have you heard about the different stages in life that you will go through? in the church when you were part of religion? Never for me. When did boys being sat down and talked to and mentored by the older men talk about to them the stages that their bodies would go through? Never. They left it to us. And if we didn't get it from our parents, how we going to teach what we don't know? And so that's where we falter. That's where religion lets us down, y'all. And so we've got to use our mind. We've got to begin to think for ourselves. And again, it's not God doing this. He gave us what? Dominion, control. If he gave it to you, now you've got to do the right thing with it. And so where that comes in, you pray, you ask Holy Spirit for wisdom to show you, to bring other people into your life that know about it. That's what we have to do. But we just listening, sitting there in church, just listening to another scripture, to another Bible story that we can read on our own. But yet you having problems in your home with your marriage, your children out running the street. They're not hitting where we live. They're not hitting what we need. We just hearing about Jonah and the whale. We just hearing about Paul of Tarshish. We just hearing about Sodom and Gomorrah. We just hearing about things that we can read. The church, the assembly should be hitting on every area of this natural life. But we want to spiritualize everything. And we are not to do that. We live in a natural body, y'all. We live in a natural world. We got to stop spiritualizing everything. Cancer is not spiritual. AIDS and hepatitis is not spiritual. A stroke is not spiritual, y'all. But Yah has an answer to all of it. Dementia is not spiritual, but he put in the earth things that can reverse this stuff. But all we want to do is pray and not do our research. All we want to do is pray and not say, Yah, give me wisdom, show me, lead me, help me to find the answer to this. Yes, we're supposed to pray, but it's not supposed to stop there, y'all. Come on now. We need to wake up. We need to get to the point where we take time to research, that we take time to ask for wisdom, insight, clarity, understanding. That's what I did. I had been going through for years with issues in my body and began to see root canal, root canal, root canal. And that means you got to turn off the TV. That means you got to get off social media. That means you got to put your phone down to learn to hear. And so that's why I don't ask people to pray for me. I don't, because you don't have the answer. I pray for myself and I ask for wisdom and I ask for insight and clarity and understanding. Holy Spirit, Yah, show me what I need to do so that I might be healed, that my body might be made well. And so now my prayer is now, Father, because I know my insurance, my dental insurance is not going to cover this. Give me the funds, give me the means so I can now go through the process. And one of the processes is once they realize that, yes, is an infected tooth, then they work on removing that tooth, giving it what you call ozone treatment to get the oxygen back. Then they have a process to replace that tooth. And again, insurance is not going to cover it. I mean, think about a root canal. They go in and they kill the root. That's what it is. They kill the root. Okay. Listen to this. Listen. If your baby died inside of you, that thing is what? Dead. So do you think when you go to the OBGYN and they realize it's no heartbeat and they give you the bad news, I am so sorry, but the baby didn't make it, but you're free to go home and live your life. Who in the world? Who? How? Why? Tell me, y'all. Make this make sense that they would let you carry a baby, a dead baby in your body for the rest of your life. I mean, are you hearing me now? That's why we got to wake up and snap out of the slumber that we've been in. Wake up. Why would you leave a dead nerve in a person's body? Deadness, necrosis is going to hurt the body. You're going to have negative symptoms, which is what I'm having. But again, we are taught to believe those who quote are the experts, those who quote know what they're doing. But now we're finding out they've harmed us and we've paid for it, y'all. We are giving our money to pay for it. We've got to snap out of this. We got to come out of this. We got to repent and ask y'all to help us. And that's where the renewing of our mind is. Come on, y'all. We got to go higher. Come on, y'all. We got to do better. As y'all's people, we should be some of the most smartest ones in the earth. We should know something about everything, every situation. We should know about it. When it comes to health and well-being, we should be the top. But yet his people are some of the most sickest ones on the earth. High blood pressure, high cholesterol, stroke, tumors, diabetes. Y'all, come on. What are we doing? How are we honoring him when we're allowing this stuff to happen in our bodies? It should not be. And while I'm talking to myself too, because I'm working on some things too. How are we going to represent him to the others in the earth? And we all broke down on a cane, in a wheelchair, on oxygen. Come on, y'all. We got to stop it. We got to do better. And so now that I've released this truth to you, you're responsible for it, because it'd have been better that you not known and to know and still do nothing about it. You're going to be held responsible. And so I just encourage you, my brothers and sisters, first of all, stop blaming y'all for negative things that happen and realize every action has a reaction. That's the thing. Again, I'm going to give some examples and then it's going to be the end. You turn on the stove and you put your, if you have a flame, a gas stove, you put your hand over it. What's going to happen? You're going to get burned. Are you really going to say, yeah, I did that? Come on, for real? Really? You're going to say, yeah, I did that. You go into an electric outlet. You take a pair of scissors and you put it into the outlet. It shocked and you know what out of you. You really gonna say, yeah, I did? I mean, do you see what? Do you understand the craziness in it all? Do you see how we've been hoodwinked and bamboozled not to think and use our mind? But the problem is, people. Here's the bottom line: people don't want to take responsibility. That's all it is. We live in a world, and we've been conditioned to let somebody else do it. We get sick. Where do we go to? The doctor to give us a pill. Now we know eating that pork ain't good for us. We know eating that shellfish ain't no good for us. We know eating certain things ain't gonna help us. But we go to the doctor, we get a pill called an antacid, and we keep on eating it, keep on eating it. I just don't know what else to say. It's just sad. Our people, it's just sad. So as you know the truth, you're supposed to do better. And so as you come into the truth and you begin to get around people who are sickly, need help, need wellness, if they begin to open up and Yah speaks to you, begin to share. You don't have to be overbearing with it. Well, the Bible said if you didn't eat this, if you didn't eat that, you wouldn't be in this situation. No, we don't do that. No, we don't do that. And I remember when 15 years ago, I had this problem and it was rough. And I was on medication for a while. This is an example. I'm not saying that this happened to me, but I began to study and I began to change my diet, and this went down and this got better. Share situations. Share different situations with people. Again, you don't have to be Bible thumping. You don't have to throw the scriptures at them. Just share your experience. And so again, people, remember, it's not God doing these things. Things happen, like they say, for a reason. We may not always know why that baby died in the mom's womb. We may not always know why after the baby was born, they only lived 4 hours, but it's not God, y'all. It's something going on in the baby's system. I was looking at a video the other day. Baby was born. They thought the baby was in good health. Baby died 3 days later. Baby had a bad heart. But again, no kind of scans were done in the newborn assessment. No kind of scans were done to check the baby from head to toe, the internal organs. Had it been checked, perhaps the baby would have lived because perhaps they could have performed a surgery. That ain't God, y'all. That's human being lack of knowledge, human being lack of action, human beings lack of understanding. So stop blaming Yah when he gave us the dominion. We've got to ask for wisdom in everything we do, in every situation. We've got to ask, how do I handle this? My body's aching. What's going on? What did I do to cause it? Yah, show me. And he'll begin to show us. He'll begin to show you. So, people, I just want to encourage you. We got to wake up. We got to come out the matrix. We got to stop drinking the Kool-Aid. We've got to study for ourselves and stop blaming Yah for things that are not his doing, things that are not his desire, things that are not his will. He gave us, man, dominion over this earth. He gave us, man, dominion over our bodies. And it's up to us how we treat it. Are you going to continue to eat the junk that they're offering you at the grocery store? You're going to continue to run to these fast food places, putting all that junk in your body, eating hamburgers, a piece of meat with bread on it. Those two things don't go together. They don't break down. They're wreaking havoc on your digestive tract. It was never for us to eat meat with a piece of bread, y'all. It's clogging up your arteries. It's clogging up your body. But if you've never heard that, you're going to think because it's soul, you can do it. We got to stop, y'all. We got to get back to honor our bodies. We got to get back to honoring our temples. We got to get back to show we are appreciative that Yah has allowed us to live another day by doing what we can, the best that we can for our bodies. That's what we got to do. So honor him by honoring your body. Honor him by putting blame where the blame is due. All right. I know nobody wants to hear that you the cause. Like Michael Jackson said, take a look at the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways. And that's what we got to do. We've got to change our ways. When Yah made us, don't you think he gave an answer to every ill that would happen to us? When Yah made us, don't you think he put in the earth just what we would need? Just like when Mr. Ford made the first car. Don't you think he knew that gasoline would run it? You don't go putting orange juice in no gasoline. Try it and see how far your car gets. Try putting laundry detergent in your car and see how far it gets. Come on, y'all. Let's think. Use your brain. Come on. It's okay to critically think. We can critically think. We can reason for ourselves. We can think for ourselves. Let's use common sense. There's a saying about that too. If sense was so common, everybody would have it. Whoops, I didn't say it. I didn't say it. Somebody else did. I'm just repeating. So come on, y'all. Yah, the creator of our bodies, he put on us a brain. Let's use it. It's okay. Stop being religious. Stop throwing scriptures on everything. We live in a physical world. We deal with physical situations. Stop putting a religious spin on everything. Yes, the child died. Yes, the person died. But it wasn't Yah that took them. It was something on the inside, which is why we have what? Autopsies. Have you ever heard after an autopsy was done was, yep, they died because Yah took them? No, they died of what? Heart disease. They died of a thrombosis. They died of a embolism. They died from strangulation. I ain't never heard not one medical examiner say after the autopsy, yep, we got the answer why they died. Y'all took them. Come on, y'all. Stop the madness. Come on, y'all. Let's wake up. Let's do better. So from here on out, when you hear something in error, come on, take time to correct the person. You don't have to do it out of anger. You don't have to do it out of frustration. Just have a conversation and ask them, can I ask you a question? You just made a comment that according to the scriptures, that's not true. Ask them, Where'd you get that from? Who told you that? And then take them to the word and show them so they could say, you know what? Oh my goodness, I've been saying that this is wrong. I'm reminded a few months ago, person that I know, blaming God for everything. And I began to tell them that wasn't God. That was an action that you made. And they actually said, you know what, you're right. I can't blame God for this. So come on, y'all. This is our creative people are talking about. This is our creative people are blaming. And so if we blame the creator for all the bad and the bad and the bad, isn't at some point people going to say, how can a God, and they are saying it, how can a God who's supposed to be all loving let this happen? How can a God who's supposed to be all loving do this? And we got to say, He's not. Give them the answer. He's not. It's people making their own choices. He gave us the answer. He told us how to eat. He told us who to follow and how to follow. He gave us laws, standards, statutes, and commandments. But He also gave us dominion. We're in control. We get to make the final decision. And the decision is called your own will. You have the will to do whatever you want. You either follow Him and get His good or the blessings, or you follow yourself and get the bad, the curses. He gave you two answers: follow Him or don't. The choice is up to you. So, brothers and sisters, thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for listening. Please share and like my videos if you'd like. You can also subscribe. I'm not here to get subscribers. I'm just here to share the truth. Love you till next time. Peace and blessings. Hallelujah. Woo!